Hello, viewers. Welcome to this episode of the Same Week Podcast. Here's what's on my mind this week. First up, I had a great time swimming in my Nancy's pool. Yes, so before I went on vacation, me and my Mima we took a day to go to, and we went to my Nancy's house, so she let me, and I got to drive, and she let me drive her Subaru Forester and there and back, and back to her house, and I had a good time. I mean, I got to swim swim in Nancy's pool, and it was a fun time. It was a nice, cool, not too hot but not too cold day, and it was. And my new goggles worked great, and it was just fun, and I even got to, and so yeah, it was just very awesome, and how I got to do that, and it was definitely a long wait, as July 2024 was very stressful. It was a struggle because of the tornadoes that came close to the end, near the end of July 2024. So it was definitely a lot of So I'm glad I finally got to go in Nancy's pool, in my Nancy's pool there. So definitely awesome. Next up, gameplay live streams on Bocce Gamer. Yes, I am on my Bocce Gamer channel has live streaming enabled, and I'm now able to go live on the Bocce Gaming channel. So what that mean? Does that mean I'm gonna do? So what does that mean? So what does that mean exactly? Well, it means I could potentially do gameplay live streams where I'm basically doing live streaming and playing the game, but I'm playing the game as I live stream. So. I mean, it could happen, but really, I don't know if my Bocce Gamer viewers are interested in that. But so for those if you so if you for those who if you so for those for any of those, I mean, if you have thoughts, you can always let me know if you want to see gameplay live streams on Bocce Gamer. So next up, new update on Auburn Trail Extension. Yes, for the past few weeks, I've been trying to find a new update as far as what's happening with the Auburn Trail Extension, I only had two news articles which I've shared in a couple episodes of the podcast, but ever since, there hasn't been any other updates on online news sources. But then when I called the town of Canandaigua, I was able to get an update. So, the update is that they are currently going through the easement phase of the progress. So now easement is basically. In other words, it means like that they are trying that the property that they're waiting for property owners awaiting approval from property owners so that the trail can run along their properties. so they're waiting for property owners to give them approval for the trail to run through their lawns or yards, and so that is what it, so I have been, and so that was the last update. So that was so that's good. At least they're still working. At least I mean, they haven't started construction yet. So, but they are still trying. But they're working. But they're just working on getting it approved to. So, but that's good. So, but also I have a way to get updates on that. So and that is, and the way I can get updates on this is that I can call the Canandaigua, and I can reach out to their Parks and Recreation department person, and she can, and I can get updates through their recreation and Parks and Recreation department person. So and that's how I, and so if I ever need to know, so I can know, so now I know who I can reach out to get updates about the trail project. So yeah. Next up, I want to recap the Montana trip. So me, my parents, sister, and my dad's daughter and husband and her husband, we took the trip to Montana for to explore Glacier National Park, and the trip for me, on as far as what it was for me, I mean, it was all right. I mean for me, day one, when my parents and my sister and parents and our parents and my parents we went to Waterton Lakes National Park in Alberta, Canada, and we went on a boat ride, and then I thought, maybe we could do rental. Maybe I remember went on Toronto Islands, and we did bike rental, and we went to a bike rental place and biked. So we went to a bike rental place. It was a bike rental place there, and so we got the bikes, but the only problem was they didn't let it. We weren't able to adjust it accordingly to our comfort levels. So the bikes were not comfortable. I can tell. I mean, and it was not a fun. And two, the bikes were terrible, and that they weren't comfortable, and they weren't adjusted correctly, and two, we also didn't have a set path that we wanted to, a set path, and we just went in a paradox, and we biked all over the place, and we didn't without planning out where we were in the park we wanted to bike. So it was. And that made it be not a not so good experience, because, and so definitely don't recommend. I will never go there again, plus I also rated the bike rental place there. I gave them a Google a 1-star Google 2 or 1-star Google review. I submitted a Google review I gave them a 1-star Google review on Google, because they are absolutely not a great bike rental place for sure. So yeah, and then the next few days we explored Glacier, and it wasn't. I'm not really a person that I don't really like nature that much. I'm not a nature person, that's for sure. And but I still tried to make the most out of it, but the most out of the Glacier National Park exploration. I tried to make the most of it. I tried to make it through. I tried my best to make it through every day, all the days that we were there. But I'm just not but I'm just not the type of person that enjoys nature. That's and I mean I'm just one that I'm not that type of person, and I'm sure there's some people, and I'm sure there's people out there who aren't nature who aren't who nat who don't who aren't interested in nature either. So I mean, so but I tried to. But when we went to the park, I tried to get make the bet make. I tried my best to enjoy it, but I didn't. But really, I didn't enjoy the nature because nature is not something I appreciate. And then we went to we went to this like mountain resort where they had like, and then we went to a mountain resort and we went, and basically we, and there was some fun stuff, and I mean there was like there was some biking there, but we unfortunately, but unfortunately there was, well, we couldn't do, but unfortunately we weren't able to do it because they, well, due to not have that, well, my dad not having my dad didn't have shoe the right that there weren't the right that my dad didn't have the right shoe, that my parents didn't have shoe the right the type of shoes, the right shoes to wear, and for that, and so we couldn't do that, and and it was not, so I didn't, so that was, so if we would have done biking there, it would have been much more fun, and it was, plus it was actually on the mountain, and it was actually, and it was, and we also went on chairlifts also, and we got to go down this like slide with the yellow thing or whatever, so, and that you would sit on, and you would push the handle down and back, and so it's like, yeah, I mean it's just fun. So, and there were, and we also had it, and we had it in our, and the place we stayed at was good, except that I didn't, that me and my sister had to sleep on a bunk bed. Yeah, never thought I would have to sleep on a bunk bed in a place that we stay at, I did not enjoy sleeping on a bunk bed. It's not, the bunk bed was hard. It was, I had to be so care. I was scared to climb the little ladder, that built-in ladder, and I was like, ugh, I don't know. It's hard. It's so hard. It's like I get so, it's so hard to climb down because you have to, and I don't like it. I mean, if there was stairs, I would have liked it better, but there was just like this little like side ladder that you had to climb down, up and down. You had to go climb it up to get to the top, and then to get to the down, you had to climb down. So it was definitely not. So that was hard. It was hard, especially if I had to get up and to do something, and it was just hard to have to climb down the little ladder on the back, and it was so, and but also there was actually the place we stayed at, there in front of the place there's a train railroad system, and that there, and so there would, and so we there was a lot of trains come through there, and come through always, and they, and there the trains there, the horns are so blasting loud, we could hear it from the place, we were when we were inside the house that we stayed at, and well, it was like the train horn, that you could hear the horns from the living room, and that's how loud it was, and that's, so it was definitely, well, but now do I ever think will I go back there? And no, I will never go back to Glacier ever. I'm not going to back to Montana ever again. I mean, after that, I mean, nope, never coming. I'm not going back there. If I'm gonna go somewhere, if I'm going on vacation, I'm gonna either go go down to Florida, or I'm gonna stay in my area, because that could, or go somewhere out east, but not out west. That's for sure. Or maybe Chicago, but that's it. But that's pretty much it. I mean, so, but so. But definitely, I'm not going. Definitely don't think I want to go back there. I mean, in my future. So, also, I have a new addition to Neutron City. So recently in Neutron, I have been working on. I've done some work on for Neutron City, and the new thing I have added is the residential neighborhood area so I've been, and I'm working on main a residential neighborhood area in my Neutron City Minecraft world. So it's, and right now I'm just laying out the road. I'm definitely gonna have house. I'm definitely gonna put some houses on in there. It's just at least then I can. But it's gonna be. I'm not sure how I'm gonna build it, how the houses are gonna be laid out, but I'm definitely working on making a residential neighborhood area there. Thank you for watching this episode of the Sammy Podcast, and I will see you in the next episode. So, until then, see you next